Greetings, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about the face and the leader. Baishu, arigatou gozaimasu. And welcome back to the 11th year of the Leadership Japan series. I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the three-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Prezen no Tachiden. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muri ni suru no wa yamimashou. And my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. This podcast brings insights, examples, and experience about leading in Japan. Trust me, it is different here. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We're not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentation Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Touches in no Share Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcaster Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is Gaya Gaya Urusai ne. Gaya Gaya Urusai ne. They are noisy. Gaya Gaya Urusai ne. Could be, say, someone in the next table, very loud, speaking very loudly. You want to say, wow, those people are really noisy. Gaya Gaya Urusai ne. Gaya Gaya Urusai ne. It could be people in the next room, if you're in a private room, and they're really loud. Oh, Gaya Gaya Urusai ne. Gaya Gaya Urusai ne. Gaya Gaya Urusai ne. Now, this is episode number 572. And today we're talking about the leader is the face of the business in Japan. I meet a lot of CEOs in Japan. I'm always out there networking and looking for clients. If they cannot become a client, then I try to encourage them to become a guest on my podcast, Japan's Top Business Interviews. I get two groups in particular who will refuse the offer, women and Scandinavians. They say that women are more reticent about putting themselves forward than men, and my own unscientific survey would seem to bear that out. If a man only has 60% of the qualifications for a job, he will raise his hand, whereas a woman will only do so if she has 90%. This is what I guess is happening with my invitation to come on the podcast and talk about one topic, leading in Japan. The women are lacking in confidence to talk about the subject because they are not feeling they are perfect enough. The Scandinavians I know here tell me that their culture is to not push yourself forward and to stay in the background. Their podcast guest refusal rate stands out. So I guess this is what is happening with their thinking. So far, 213 leaders have managed to spend an hour with me talking about leading in Japan for the weekly podcast. So I am finding enough of those in agreement. It isn't as if I cannot get guests because no one wants to join me on video and audio to talk about leadership. I think both groups reflect a misunderstanding of what their leader role is in Japan. The leader here is the face of the business, and particularly in this social media age, we need to be masters of this new universe. I get it. Taking your photo, or even worse, video, is not something we all welcome. We are very self-conscious about how lacking we are in terms of being photogenic, or how awkward we look on video. And when we hear our own voice, we shudder. In life, I have found I am particularly unable to be photogenic, so I totally sympathize. You know when you take that group shot and when you get it back, you look for yourself? It's always a disappointment for me. In this modern world of work, however, we are all in a life and death struggle to attract a declining demographic of young people and mid-career hires to join us. We must be competitive, and that means we need to be getting some clear messages out into the world about who we are and what are our values. We need to be good communicators and also add our image to go with the words. If we can speak the words on video and audio, even better. Find out more. We come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do them in Japanese and we do them in English, do them in our super safe classroom. We do them live online. The show today is being brought to you by, on the 12th and 13th September, our High Impact Presentations course. Also, starting on the 13th September, will be our Dale Carnegie course 12-week version. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. So that's www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. So that's greg.story, STORY, at dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television. Don't forget to grab my business best-selling books on Japan on Amazon. Japan Sales Mastery, which is Saegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muda ni suru wa yamemashou, and my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. I've been told by numerous guests on my podcast that they found that they were successful in attracting new staff who had checked them and seen the video interview. I can believe that because the nature of the interview is very authentic, and no one so far has succeeded in pushing forth a fake version of themselves to fool the masses. I don't say much during the interview and just let the guests talk. Occasionally, I will dig down to a point to go a bit deeper, but the bulk of the time is theirs. People watching the interview get a very clear picture of the boss and then can decide if this is the type of place where they want to work. Clients also check us out, and they are making decisions about us too in terms of, do they want to have a relationship with our company? They want to know who we are and what we stand for. This is an important chance for the CEO to become active and provide the content the buyers are looking for. They want to know who the boss is and what they are like. Hiding in the background is not a clever option. It is much better to work on mastering the medium. Looking straight down the barrel of the camera lens is not that easy. And for many people, it is a formidable obstacle. Video is difficult to come across naturally, I find. Using teleprompters is not easy either, and getting the right rhythm is a challenge for me. I always have trouble with photo shoots because I manage to look like a dork more often than not. I was watching something on TikTok where a male model was demonstrating how to move and stand to get the right shot, and I realized I have no ability to do that. Fortunately, Tia Haygood, who is my local photographer here, manages to make me look presentable enough to squeak by. What I've found is that the more you do it, the better you become, and refusing to participate is a guarantee that you will never master the medium. The CEO shouldn't be hiding. Instead, they should be pushing their message forward at every opportunity. So find Tia if you're in Tokyo, and work on your official portrait shots to use on social media and on your website. Get a videographer like Ryan McAvoy, who I use from Japan Media Services. Get him involved to help you with creating quality videos. I've been using Tia and Ryan for years, and I trust their work, which is why I'm mentioning them if you are looking for help locally here in Japan. The point is, the leader has to lead from the front and be the face of the business. We need to break down any potential barriers to getting staff or clients. Get the photos, the video, the audio, go on podcasts, do the interviews. Do everything possible you can to control the image you are projecting. If you can't speak confidently or coherently, then come and do some training with us, and we'll fix that for you. There are no excuses anymore because there are plenty of people around to help. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, then tell your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. You can contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Until the next episode, take what you thought valuable, put it into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners. So, be one of them. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.